welcome back to the Ultimate Trader Workshop. I've been waiting for this one for a long time. In this video, it's not only that we're going to talk about the opportunity that you see on the screen, which could be tremendous if things go in our favor, but we got to hit on the psychology that it's going to require in order to get the reward. So let's jump right into it. Again, this is more about the patience and psychology that's required to get this bag should the market decide to give it to us, okay? So, of course, this is one of our faves, Mr. Bearish Cipher pattern, moving harmonically in beautiful fashion as you can see, dollar yen is one of those pairs that just triggers these very, very powerful, high-paying advanced patterns. So this one here was a successful shark. And then if we just go back, you'll just see how it just like tremendous. Here's a Gartley pattern right here. And look what, and so all this action is the result of this Gartley, so you should, get a treat off of that. They were actually back to back. I think this is bat. No, this is Cipher in here. It's just hard to see. I would have to zoom in closer. So Cipher is the one that really gave it, which is where we are now. If we got that type of activity reaction, that would be amazing. But this had back to back, so it was a combo back here. This is going way, way back. This is 2016. Gartley pattern. He fires off and wins. The trader wins, but then after a point in time, he comes back. So it goes bullish Gartley, bullish Cipher, rallies off, bearish bearish crab pattern. And then now we are at bearish Cipher. Now, finally, I just had to go give you guys the history behind, how we got here. So, our rules of engagement are met. Our Cipher is actually filled, as you can see. I lined off the D-leg completion, the 786 retracement. I lined that off. That's why I just put the line there. And you can see we are filled. So now into the meat and potatoes, the real lesson. In prior times, in my earliest days, when I found out about advanced pattern recognition and harmonics, I was just as excited as you might be when you see some of this stuff. I did not have the discipline, which resulted in me having drawdowns, having a lot of losing trades, and losing faith in it. Which, of course, you advance and you become better over time. I'm human, just like you. I didn't start like this. Okay, where I could run an educational platform and teach you guys what's really happening. I had to arrive here to tell you about this. Okay, I had to go through all the bumps and bruises, and I had to go through the pain and the crying and the losses and the blown accounts so that you don't have to. Okay, so let's take the good with the good and let's leave the bad to the side. Okay, so in prior times, this meant go, okay, for a couple of reasons. One, too aggressive. It meant it's filled. It's going to work. It has a 70% win percentage. It just meant go. And all of those things were wrong, by the way. That does not mean go. There's nothing else saying, short position, go. Doesn't mean that, because you would have to wait this thing out. We're on the weekly chart, okay? So even if this took 2 or 3 more weeks, you don't even know if you would be able to withstand that. Especially where I'm taking you in the Harmonic Trading Club to tell you, you don't have to withstand that, okay? No position is the best position. You can always go find something else to do than waiting 3 or 4 weeks in the negative if this thing don't react yet. This is why you are here, to get this, okay? The other way, okay, it's filled, I'm going, okay? And red X. The other thing was having a limit order there at the price 154.887 or something like that. A sell limit order, meaning it would have been activated, okay? The sell limit order could have been placed at any time. The sell limit order could have been placed way back here in October. I kind of knew that this was going to get filled before it even got there, because that's what Cipher does. He sucks up to that 786. You might push a little bit more, then you get the turnover typically on a winner. That's how it works. But that sell limit order, this thing would have been in there. So that's 2 ways. Market order, just enter it. It's filled. I got to go. If I don't, I'm going to miss it. All wrong. We're fixing and correcting all of that incorrect teaching. Sell limit order. Well, if it gets to this price, I'm selling it. Wrong. Okay? You don't want to enter a trade unless, if you've been following the Harmonic Trading Club and the rest of our videos, you have some form of confirmation and that there is high probability. Okay, and again, what do we use for our confirmation? We usually want a 3-bar reversal. So even though this is filled, we're going to have to break this up into 2 parts because we can only come back to say, wow, that's amazing that bearish cipher got smoked on the weekly and we never got a chance to play it, or it reacted and it gave us the opportunity. So what's today? Friday? Thursday or Friday? Today's Thursday. Yeah. So today's Wednesday? Can't be. Wow, we got a long way to go. We got 2 more days in the current week. Sorry, I lost track with the holiday. We got 2 more days to go before this week's bullish candle closes. 2 more days. That's another 48 hours before you can even consider, because this weekly candle has to close. Not only that, you need to see what happens after that. You need to see if this one is big enough and bullish enough. It's big enough, but I wouldn't call it necessarily an engulfing candle. I'll put it like this. This one right here is more of an engulfing candle, okay? This one right here is more of an engulfing candle than this one, okay? So you need something that's going to look like this first, okay? So we're going right into our 3-bar reversal criteria, okay? And then, well, for the A plus setup, you want the big one. If you're going to play it like this, it would have to be followed by a doji. It have to be followed by a doji. And then it has to be a candle closing in our bias, bearish in the opposite direction. Okay. And it needs to close beyond the doji. Okay. So just breaking that down. If you get to this setup, then you can trade it. Okay. Not trade advice, not a trading signal. I'm telling you what's happening on here. This is obviously for educational purposes. Trade your money at your own risk or consult with a financial advisor of your choice before putting your money in these very, very volatile markets. With the wrong position size on here and not knowing what you're doing here, you could blow the account off this one trade because it's macro, it's big. Okay. You wouldn't take this unless the trigger and entry bar, which could be in another 2 weeks, closes beyond the doji. Other than that, you got no trade. You let this thing either keep going up or you let it keep going sideways. You don't take action on it until this condition is met. The other part I was going to say about it is you want it to be the A plus type. You want it to be like a boom, a big infusing engulfing candle. This is the one you want, okay? Followed by a doji. You're going to want them to have a real small body, and you want them to have a long upper and lower shadow, okay? And then let's see if we can make him look. Yeah, there we go, like that. Wafer body, small, thin wafer body, and a long upper and lower shadow. And then you want a candle closing beyond him. Okay, so the difference is if you get this one here, this is, I would call this maybe in the B plus area, maybe even C. This kind of works. This would be a valid 3-bar reversal. I typically want the A plus. So then what you're doing is you're combining an A plus setup on this trade 3BR with the engulfing candle followed by doji, followed by trigger and entry closing beyond the doji. Okay. So you want that A plus combined with this cipher. That's what you want. Okay. And you have to be willing to pass this thing up if you don't get that. Mind you, the higher the probability, that's just going to translate through the whole entire trade versus you know what you can expect from a low probability entry. So they matter. So let's say you get a cipher pattern that has either a B plus 3-bar for confirmation on entry, or maybe even something worse, no 3-bar at all. You get what you pay for. You get what you can expect without that confirmation, and it goes sideways, or you lose. You should expect that. So I think that's it on this one. Okay. Let me see what else we need to add. When we do get there, we would like to be overbought on RSI. We are not there yet. And that's telling us that even though it's filled, price action could still move up some more. We want to be overbought on RSI. At this point, we're building our CTS score, our combined technical score. We're starting to add more parts to our cipher. Hopefully we get our 3-bar reversal, overbought conditional RSI, and hopefully, you see how this shows bearish divergence here on RSI? Hopefully we can get a signal like that too, where at this point right here, okay, this part right here looks higher than this part, but RSI said it's weaker, and then you got the rollover. We want that same effect here. We want this price action to look like it's higher than this part, but RSI says no, it's lower. Okay, so that's how. So then we would be combining overball condition. We give ourselves points. That's why it's combined technical score. We give ourselves some points for that. We give ourselves some points if we can get that bearish divergence. We'll give ourselves some points for the cipher pattern, and we'll give ourselves some points for the entry, the confirmational entry. We could keep going. We could go higher time frame to the month and see what that looks like. We could jump down to the day and see what that looks like. Like for example, if I went to the day here, things might look, there might be a completely different story, okay? Yeah, so the day here says when he was here, the day shows how he got there and just pushes up into it. But the day also says on RSI, it had bearish divergence, but too early. We need to see bearish divergence later on. So that would be going to get lower time frame confirmation and higher time frame confirmation. I think you guys get the gist. I don't want to let this one run too long with so much good information on here. So it's dollar yen bear cipher on the weekly, only filled, not activated, and not confirmed. So take that as the lesson. I'm thinking we'll come back around with a part 2 to this. This is a pretty good one because this one allowed me to do what I wanted to do, which was give the lesson on patience, waiting. No position is the best position until it's time and your pattern is confirmed. If you can get this down, people, I promise you there will be nothing in this world that can stop you in this game. So if you want to know more about the advanced cipher pattern, I'm pretty sure we got the best cipher training in the world over at the Harmonic Trading Club and Harmonic Trading Academy playlist. Hit the like button on this one. I should ask you guys that. Like, who's going to come and do this free on the house? No gimmicks, no gurus, no Lamborghinis, okay? Head on over to the Harmonic Trading Academy playlist where we teach all the things that we talked about here. We have the best cipher class in it. We have the best crab pattern class in it. Cipher again, and we absolutely, you guys probably already know we got the best advanced Gartley training in the world, okay? So that being said, okay, you guys be good, take care of yourself in the market, and I will see you on the next video.